Welcome to the Head Above Water podcast. This devotional podcast is designed to help you reach out to Jesus and keep your head above water.
Season 1, Episode 9, Victory, Joshua 2-6, the verse of the week, and 3 questions. After this. This week we continue our study of Joshua in Joshua chapter 2. The Israelites have entered the land in a miraculous way and built an altar to God, and now they must begin the conquest. They begin the conquest with a rather significant city, the city of Jericho, a city known for its powerful walls, copious food stores, and moon god worship. The way cities defended themselves in that time is their walls were strong. They could go inside of the city, hang out inside, and wait until the invading armies ran out of time, resource, or inclination, and that's the way that they would defend themselves. They would just wait the other side out. So the collapse of Jericho's walls was a big deal. It was a big deal for Rahab. It was a big deal for Israel. It was a big deal. While certainly Rahab was emboldened by the God that she had put her faith in when the walls fell, and the Israelites had learned to walk with God and were emboldened by the walls falling. But not only did the walls fall, as did the government of Jericho and the religious system. The depravity of the Canaanites was legendary. Their religious system included very perverse acts sexually, and probably included child sacrifice. They were corrupt people, and the moon worshippers of Jericho were no different. In fact, they had a ritual. It sounds very similar to the walk around the city that Joshua took. They would walk around the city for the same number of days, and then they would install their god, king, priest as their ruler every year. Well, this year, after the walk of the Israelites, not only did the wall fall, but the whole religious system fell. God turned it on its ear, very ironically. And perhaps even more ironically is what happened with Rahab. You see, the other parallel that's probably most interesting joins the Old and New Testament together. It's the salvation of Rahab. She had hidden the spies. And in one sense, when Jericho fell, Rahab was saved. And later, through her, Israel got a son for Rahab, the ancestor of King David. And even more so, David's son was Jesus Christ. Rahab's name appears in Jesus' genealogy in Matthew chapter 1. The name Jesus is the same name as Joshua, and Jesus is the one that fought the battle at Jericho. God saves once again in the Messiah, the Son of God, through Rahab. All victory is won.
And now it's time for Verse of the Week, a segment where we highlight a truth from Scripture.
A shoot will come up from the stump of Jesse. From his roots, a branch will bear fruit. Isaiah 11:1.
And now, 3 questions. 3 Questions is the part of the Head Above Waters podcast where we ask you 3 questions and you apply the truth of Scripture to your life.
Question number 1. How does Rahab's story reflect our own? How does Rahab's story reflect our own? Question number 2. What does this story teach us about trusting God and His plan for our lives? What does this story teach us about trusting God and His plan for our lives? Question number 3. How is God's grace on display in this story? How is God's grace on display in this story?
Thank you for listening to the Head Above Water podcast. This podcast is a production of Midkiff Ministries for the use of our audience. The song Think Big is provided by Scott Holmes via Creative Commons Attribution License.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.